Kim walked out of the armory with weapons and wearing the armor Wade made. She looked to see Shigo waiting in the garage of their bunker. She was ready and Dr. Draken was there beside her. "Good, you're ready," Dr. Draken said. "How's the weapon making?" Kim asked. "It's still being worked on, but soon it will be ready for testing. I was hoping you could test it on some demons. It'll be appreciated so I can get feedback on what needs to be improved," Dr. Draken said. "Sounds good. I can test it," Kim offered. "Thank you so much, Kim Possible. I'll let you know when the weapon is ready," Dr. Draken said. "Hey, Dr. D, can we go now? My brothers are probably dying to be saved by the minute we waste here." Shigo scoffed impatiently. All right. You two girls be safe," Dr. Draken said to Kim and Shigo. As he said that, Kim and Shigo climbed inside the tank and drove out of the bunker. As they drove the tank down the streets, Shigo looked at the horror that was displayed. Demons and corpses littered everywhere she looked. Once Kim and Shigo were out of the city, they turned down a back road that was also the countryside. Shigo looked around, but they couldn't see any survivors and only some demons roaming. "Which farm could they be on?" Kim asked. "Not sure. If we see an aircraft, then we'll know they're there," Shigo answered, as Kim stopped to the tank on the side of the road, in front of a farmhouse and with a large barn. "I don't see their aircraft, so they're not here," Shigo stated as she and Kim both climbed out of the tank and looked around. There were no demons in sight. "We gotta see if there's other survivors as well. It doesn't hurt to try," Kim replied as she cocked the safety off of her super shotgun. "Now stay behind me and only attack if there's a demon in sight." "Gotcha," Shigo nodded. Then she and Kim walked up towards the farm, the house through the dirt path that led up there. Upon getting closer to the house, a zombie man with a chain gun turned his attention to Kim and Shigo and opened fire. Shigo had managed to throw a fireball at the chain gun zombie, killing him instantly. "What the hell was that?" Shigo questioned. "My monster identifier shows that these demons are called Former Commando. He's more dangerous than the ones with pistols and shotguns," Kim explained, then looked at the front door to which it had been smashed in. Shigo and Kim headed inside the farmhouse to see the house inside was trashed. Blood and organs and corpses littered the floor, walls and the ceiling as well. Shigo nearly gagged at the smell, but managed to keep back the bile that had threatened her throat. Kim looked at Shigo and decided to split up. Shigo headed upstairs while Kim was checking the first and basement of the farmhouse. Shigo climbed up the stairs to hear a demon in the hallway. She looked to her right to see a skeleton-like demon with rockets on its shoulder. Knowing that this demon that neither she or Kim have encountered yet, Shigo slowly crept up towards the demon without alerting of its presence. Once she's close enough, Shigo's hands glowed green as she grabbed onto the demon's skull. The demon felt waves of burning pain as Shigo's plasma started to melt the skull. Eventually, it burst into blood and brain matter. Shigo looked down at the corpse of the new demon she had encountered, not sure what it was, but she suddenly heard footsteps approaching. They were fast, and Shigo was afraid it was another demon. So she turned around to blast whatever was behind her, only to find it was only Kim. "Kimmy, you startled me. I thought you were a demon approaching," Shigo stated. "I heard an explosion. What happened?" Kim asked. "I found this demon standing there in the hallway. He had rockets on his shoulders and he was a skeleton-like demon," Shigo explained. Kim then used the monster identifier to see what kind of demon it was. "My monster identifier shows it's a revenant. They shoot rockets from its shoulders," Kim replied. "They sure look like skeletons on Halloween." "Did you find anything or anyone on the first floor and the basement?" Shigo asked. "No. It looks like they may have escaped. Only demon corpses we found are on the first floor," Kim replied. Then she and Shigo checked the rooms up on the second floor. However, searching the second floor, Kim and Shigo found nothing. With the fact that they found nothing, they headed back downstairs to see another revenant entering the house. Kim and Shigo dodged the rockets it shot out. When Kim got close enough, she used a super shotgun against the revenant. Shigo fired at the Revenant with her green plasma, damaging the rocket launchers attached to its shoulders. Eventually, Kim fired another shot, killing the Revenant instantly. Another one of those? Kim questioned as she and Shigo left the farmhouse and headed towards the barn. As they headed inside the barn, they expected to find animals, only to find corpses of dead animals. Shigo and Kim saw a group of pinky demons eating the corpses of dead farm animals. They turned and noticed Kim and Shigo, and soon they charged towards them. Shigo and Kim opened fire, shooting down the pinky demons as they started charging towards them. After a couple of minutes of fighting, all the pinky demons eventually fell dead on the ground. They killed about 20 to 30 pinkies in total. Shigo and Kim breathed a sigh of relief, knowing that all the pinky demons in the barn were dead. "That is a lot of fucking pinky demons," Kim commented. "No kidding. I thought we weren't going to last that long against them. Glad your weapons did most of the damage and my plasma flames did a lot more damage to them," Shigo added. "Well, your brothers aren't here. We better get out of here. More demons could show up at any minute," Kim instructed as she and Shigo headed out of the barn and headed down the path back towards the tank. When they got towards the tank, they both climbed in and took off as they continued to drive down the tank to the countryside. There were some demons either eating, fighting, or roaming the farmlands. After about an hour of searching the farm, they came across, fighting demons and looking around. Shigo saw her brother's aircrafts near one of the farms. "I see their aircraft to your left. I think they're in that farm," Shigo pointed it out. Kim nodded and turned towards the farm driveway and then drove up towards the farm. As they got closer, Kim did turn the tank around facing the other way to exit the farm. As she did that, she put the tank into park and then she and Shigo climbed out of the tank to have a look around. There were no demons in sight, thankfully. As soon as they found no demons in sight, they both got out of the tank. "Where should we search first?" Shigo asked. "Let's check the barn," Kim instructed as she and Shigo nodded and followed Kim towards the barn. When they approached the barn, Kim readied her super shotgun as she slowly opened the door to the barn. They walked into a scene of extreme carnage. There were dead bodies of demons littering the barn, most of them being former humans, former human commandos, former human sergeants, and pinky demons. Shigo and Kim checked every nook and cranny as well as every room of the barn, only to find dead bodies of demons. After searching the barn, they headed out of the barn for the farmhouse. As they approached the front door of the farmhouse, Shigo knocked on the door and waited for a few minutes. One of Shigo's brothers opened the door slowly, keeping cautious as they were demons roaming around. However, when one of her brothers opened the door, they were surprised to see Kim along with Shigo. "Sis, is that you?" Shigo asked. "Yes, it's me. You're okay." Shigo gave Higo a hug after she said that. Higo returned the hug and noticed Kim Possible wearing armor. "Kim Possible, I almost didn't recognize you. What's up?" Higo asked. "Surviving, that's how I'm doing," Kim replied as Higo invited her and Shigo inside the farmhouse. Once inside, Migo and the Wego twins showed up as they heard the commotion from the front door. "Shigo, you're alive. Just glad you're safe," Migo stated. "Yeah, we were worried about you," Wego 1 said. "We thought you were dead or something," Wego 2 added. "This is hell on earth, let me tell you that," Shigo replied, agreeing with her brothers. "We've been killing demons since day 1, and this armor Wade made for me and Ron is helping," Kim said. "So how did you guys get here?" "Well, at the Goat Tower, we were holding out as best we could. During the first day when the demons started walking, we heard about it on the news on TV. So we stayed put for a while, thinking that the demons can't swim since we're on an island. However, we saw floating red demons shooting fireballs at our tower. We killed them all," Higo explained, then sighed and continued. "Then we realized that we couldn't stay here any longer, and so we hopped on the aircraft and headed towards the countryside." "So that's how you stayed safe? Very smart," Shigo replied. "There were a lot of demons in the barn, but I bet you both saw the carnage inside," Migo said. "There were a few demons in the house, so we killed them and pulled their bodies outside. It's worse than the cities, so we stayed put here, hoping help would come, but no updates since," Higo added. We have a bunker. It's in the forest, far away from the cities and demons. It's safe as Wade built it. You guys could come with us and hide there, Kim said, inviting Shigo's brothers. Please come with us. I would feel bad if you all died by all were dying by the hands of the demons if you stayed here, Shigo added. Right, sis. We'll come with you guys. I was hoping to bring the aircraft with us, but the engine was making noises before we landed here, Higo said. Let me and Kimmy have a look. To see if it's fixable, Shigo replied. Kim and Shigo were outside the farmhouse. While Shigo's brothers were packing their things inside, Shigo looked at the engine of the aircraft that her brothers arrived in. It looked like it was damaged as some components of the aircraft melted. How does it look? Is it fixable? Kim asked. The engine overheated due to some components of the aircraft melted due to the engine overheating. It doesn't look fixable without the tools and the components we need, Shigo replied as she got out of the aircraft engine compartment. Should we go find parts and tools to fix it? Kim questioned. It's dangerous with the demons to go do that. Raiders who have escaped could have stripped off components off vehicles to do that. Besides, we won't have any luck on finding them anyway, Shigo stated. And second, the noises we make while fixing it will attract demons, and we could all be ambushed that way. How does it look? Higo asked as he and the Wego twins, along with Migo, all got out of the farmhouse with supplies. The engine's overheated and also melted some components of your aircraft, so it's unfixable with demons roaming. Even if we tried to find the parts, most of Middleton is scrapped due to raiders, Shigo explained to her brothers. Well, that changes everything. We'll take the tank, Migo said, pointing at the tank that Kim parked not far from the farmhouse. The tank has turrets to take down demons, so the tank is very powerful, Kim stated, as she along with Shigo and her brothers headed for the tank, where they all climbed inside the tank. While driving back to Middleton from the countryside, Kim looked to her right to see some wandering demons, but paid no attention to them while driving. Higo and Migo, along with the Wego twins, were on the turrets, ready to shoot any demons in sight. Damn it, the road's blocked by vehicles, Kim groaned as she stopped in front of the vehicles, blocking their way back to Middleton City. Why not go around the blockage? Shigo suggested as Kim nodded, and started to take the tank off-road to go around the blockage. After Kim got the tank back on the road, she continued to drive down the road to the exit out of the countryside. While driving the tank down, Kim looked to see that the tank was running low on gas. Shit, low on gas. Kim cursed, but then she remembered Wade storing gas canisters inside the tank for emergencies. Wade says there's gas canisters in the tank. I just gotta find a safe place to pull over. Kim looked for a good place to pull over the tank to park. She eventually found a spot to do so with no demons in sight. Once she found a place to pull over, she pulled onto the side of the road and parked the tank. Then she turned the tank off and she and Shigo both got out of the tank. Kim grabbed the gas canisters from the storage of the tank. Keep an eye out for demons, Kim instructed as she started to gas up the tank. Shigo and her brothers kept an eye out for any demons that were around. Shigo looked around, keeping a good eye for any demon in sight. There were no demons in sight as far as she and her brothers could see. So Shigo said she'll go to the farm up close to find any survivors. Shigo walked up towards the farm. While looking around, she didn't spot any demons within her views in all directions. When Shigo got up towards the farm, she headed for the barn, but just as she got closer, a green fireball was thrown at her. Luckily, Shigo dodged it to look in the direction where the fireball was thrown. She saw a Hell Knight was the source of the green fireball. The Hell Knight roared at Shigo as it started to attack, so Shigo had to fight back to keep herself out of harm's way. As Shigo was fighting the Hell Knight, she dodged the fireballs being thrown at her. Shigo lunged the attack on the Hell Knight, only for the Hell Knight to headbutt her, making her fall to the ground. The Hell Knight tried to stomp on her, but only for Shigo to shoot green plasma at the Hell Knight, making the demon stumble back. You're going to be a fried Hell Knight by this, Shigo growled as she started to throw her fireballs at the Hell Knight, stunning the demon. As soon as the Hell Knight was stunned, Shigo ran up to it and forced her hands through its chest, melting the heart with her green plasma. As the Hell Knight's heart was being destroyed by Shigo's green plasma, melting it, Shigo then pulled her hand out, covered in blood. The Hell Knight then fell to the ground, dead by the hands of Shigo. After making sure the Hell Knight was dead, Shigo continued to search inside the barn. However, there was nothing useful or anyone holding out in the barn. Well, then Shigo checked the farmhouse, only to kill a few former human demons inside. She did not find any survivors, but she did find some ammo and some weapons, so she grabbed them. Once she grabbed the ammo and weapons, she headed back outside. In the distance. The way they came was for a horde of demons. They consist of Hell Knights, Revenants, Pinky Demons, former human sergeants, and former commandos heading their way. They were large in numbers, so Shigo raced back towards the tank, where Kim finished fueling up the fuel. Shigo had warned her and her brothers about the oncoming horde of demons heading their way, so Kim and Shigo climbed to the back of the tank, where Kim started to drive. As they drove off, Shigo's brothers on their turrets started to open fire at the demons that were a couple of feet away from the tank. "I've never seen that many demons before," Shigo stated. "Neither have I. Thank God your brothers are using the turrets to kill the demons as I drive," Kim said as Shigo looked from her passenger side window. There was a Pinky Demon rushing towards the tank, racing with it. Shigo managed to shoot her green plasma at the Pinky Demon, taking it out. "There's too many of them," Shigo called out to Kim. "We need to lose them somehow. Can't risk having them following us to the bunker," Kim replied, yelling at Shigo. "Allow me to help," Shigo said, grabbing a box of Molotovs, all ready to start a fire. She got on top of the tank with a box of them. Shigo lit the fabric parts off with her green plasma. As they were set on fire, Shigo began to throw the Molotovs at the demons. She threw most of them on the ground to create a fire for the demons to slow down. Some of them burned to death, while others took burning damage. As Shigo threw the rest of the Molotovs at the demons, she went back inside the tank and sat with Kim. "I took care of them. Those demons will be burning for a while," Shigo stated to Kim. "Where did you get the box of Molotovs?" Kim questioned. "I snuck some of them into the tank before you and Ron arrived," Shigo replied with a smirk. "You're one bad girl, Shigo," Kim said, while liking Shigo's idea. As Kim continued to drive the tank, they arrived at the bunker in the forest. Once inside, Kim parked the tank in the garage of the bunker. Kim, Shigo, Higo, Migo, and the Wego twins all climbed out of the tank. "Whoa, big bunker you've got here," Higo said in amazement. "We're safe here?" Migo asked. "Trust me, this place will keep any demon from getting in here," Kim replied. Then she looked up to see Wade along with Ron. "You four are Shigo's brothers?" Wade questioned Higo, Migo, and the Wego twins. "Yes, sir," Mr. Higo began, but wasn't sure what to say. "Wade. Please call me Wade." Wade finished for Higo. Then he took Shigo's brothers to where their rooms will be while they stay in the bunker. "Hey Kim, you and Shigo both are okay? I was getting a bit worried about you. You've been both gone longer than expected," Ron began. "The tank needed gas and we had a few demons chasing us," Kim explained. "Ah, makes sense," Ron replied. "And we have encountered a former human commando with a chain gun and a revenant," Shigo stated. "What's a revenant?" Ron asked. "It's a skeleton-like demon that shoots rockets from their shoulders," Kim explained. "Come on, let's get you and Shigo all tidied up and relax," Ron insisted as he led her and Shigo for the armory. When they got to the armory, Kim took off the armor and put the weapon away. Shigo put the weapons and ammo away, and she got herself cleaned up from fighting the demons. While watching the news, there hadn't been too many updates to the demons roaming the earth. It was the same old, stay indoors and evacuate if you have to, that sort of stuff. Shigo flipped through the channels of the TV as she was tired of the news saying the same thing over and over again. Dr. Draken walked in with a newspaper in hand and sat beside Shigo, and was reading the newspaper that he never got to read yet. That being because he and Shigo had to get to the bunker. That was the first day that the demons rose from hell. "Nothing good on TV, I guess. News says the same shit as usual," Dr. Draken said, not surprised that the news had no update on the situation. "Yeah, same old shit," Shigo replied sarcastically. Glad your brothers are alive. I heard you melted a heart of a Hell Knight with your green plasma, Dr. Draken said. Yeah, he nearly killed me, but I stood my ground, Shigo replied as she was looking at her magazine after turning off the TV. Glad you and Kim didn't get killed out there. Kim told me why you two took longer than expected to be done with the mission, Dr. Draken stated. Yeah, I know. The tank was low on gas, and we had a horde of demons chasing us, Shigo explained while reading her magazine. By the way, how is that super weapon you're making coming along? It's going really well. Well, kind of run into technical difficulties, but don't worry. I will figure out the problem and fix it soon, Dr. Draken answered. A few hours had passed and Kim was on her laptop researching about the demons. She had wondered if there was any ways to have the world go back to normal, but no matter how hard Kim looked, she found no solution to it. Ron walked in with Rufus on his shoulder. He sat beside Kim, pulling up a chair to join her at the desk. What are you doing? Ron asked. Trying to see if there was a way to beat the demons and have the world go back to normal. But so far, I found nothing, Kim answered, stumped as hell, when she found nothing of what she was looking for. Well, that sucks. I'm sure the military may do something about the demons, Ron replied, feeling hopeful at the thought. I hope so, Ron. Everything we knew has been taken from us. My mom, Mr. Bargain, my old cheerleading squad. Kim sighed sadly. I can't believe it. Gone from the hands of the demons. I know the world we are in right now, but I'm sure things may look up eventually, Ron said. You're right, Ron. Let's think positive on that one, Kim replied, feeling hopeful as Ron is. A few weeks had gone by, and nothing much had happened, besides everyone in the bunker and refraining from going outside whenever demons are roaming. Wade had made a greenhouse inside the bunker to grow fruits and vegetables, to which it was a smart idea. Everyone enjoyed that idea, and they learned how to maintain the greenhouse. Everything seemed to go well with everything they'd been doing, but unfortunately, something had to come up to happen to the group. James Possible caught a bad virus, to which it was cholera, along with Ron's parents as they were sick as well. With no one working in the sewers treatment plant, the culprit was from contaminated water and food. Without medicine, everyone wouldn't last long from the illness. Wade was installing a water filter to make the water safe to drink. It would take him a few days to do that, so no one knows how long James and Ron's parents can survive cholera for. So Kim and Ron knew that someone would have to go and find the medicine. Kim and Ron had put their armor on. Once they grabbed their weapons in the armory, Shigo showed up at the door to the armory. You two ready? Shigo asked, knowing she was going with them. Yeah, we're ready. Wade is keeping an eye on Ron's parents and my dad. I hope they'll be okay while we're gone. As soon as we get the medicine, they'll get better, Kim replied. I am worried for them. Just hope they survive until we have the medicine, Ron added. I understand. I hope they'll be okay too. The mission's going to be dangerous. Who knows what kind of demons are out there roaming in Middleton, Shigo replied, as she, Kim, and Ron headed towards the hallway from the armory towards the garage. They climbed inside the tank and Kim drove the tank out of the garage of the bunker. Once outside, they headed for the pharmacy in Middleton. While heading for the pharmacy, Kim and Ron, along with Shigo, looked to see some demons everywhere they looked. They parked the tank near the pharmacy, and Kim looked around to make sure there were no demons in sight. The coast is clear, Kim said, as she climbed out of the tank, followed by Ron and Shigo, who also climbed out of the tank. As they were out of the tank, they headed towards the pharmacy to see the windows had been smashed. They headed inside the pharmacy. Ron looked through the smashed windows to see if there was anyone else inside. There happened to be lots of supplies and no one inside, so they walked inside to look around the pharmacy. Look for medicine as well as other supplies. Surely the meds are here or somewhere, Kim said, instructing Ron and Shigo to start looking around. As Kim looked through the medical section of the pharmacy, she heard a demon-like noise. She turned her attention towards a staff-only door. She wondered what kind of demon was making that noise. She picked up her plasma rifle and headed toward the door. She knew the door was locked and she kicked it down hard as she could. Once the door was kicked in, she headed inside the staff-only area. She looked to see the door was opening, so she slowly headed for the door. Once she got close enough, a demon noticed that Yeah, Kim was within its sight. As Kim nearly froze in fear, the demon unleashed its fire to have it fire head for Kim possible. Kim dodged the attack with open fire at the demon. The demon unleashed more fire to hit Kim with. However, Kim dodged it and managed to shoot the demon down. Once it fell dead to the ground, the demon identifier started reading codes as to what the demon was. Kim, I heard noises from the other side of the pharmacy. What happened? Ron asked as Kim turned to see Ron was behind her. This demon attacked me with fire powers. It's an archvile, Kim explained. They also can bring demons back that are dead to life, if they're near a corpse of a demon, that is. Can they really do that? Ron questioned, confused as to what Kim said. Yes, they can. If we see an archvile, we will have to kill it quickly, Kim answered. Have you found any supplies? Ron replied with a question. Not really, just useless junk, Kim said. Then she and Ron headed back out of the staff room to find Shigo filling up a bag of medicine. Only found some medicine we need for the sick back at the bunker, but this is not going to be enough, Shigo stated, showing the medicine that she found in the bag. Well, we'll have to find another pharmacy that has more of what we're looking for, Kim replied. Could we try Middleton Mall? Ron suggested. There's a pharmacy on the upper floor of the mall. Hopefully it's not cleaned out by looters. Let's head there. Hopefully it's just demons we have to take care of, Kim said, liking Ron's idea. She, along with Ron and Shigo, exited out of the pharmacy of Middleton. They climbed back inside the tank and drove off, on their way to Middleton Mall. After a couple of minutes of driving, they kept their eye out for any demons or survivors needing of rescuing. However, they only found some demons wandering around and eating corpses. They soon got to the parking lot of Middleton Mall and saw a couple of revenants along with some imps and pinkies wandering in the parking lot. I knew some demons would be wandering here, Kim spat, frustrated to see demons near the entrance of the mall. Can we fight for the front entrance? Ron asked. We'll have to take them out before accessing the mall, Kim answered, as she, Ron, and Shigo climbed out of the tank. The demons soon noticed Kim, Ron, and Shigo, and they began to charge at them. Kim had a rocket launcher and began shooting the demons that were far away from her, killing them with the explosion of the rockets. Ron had managed to use the super shotgun at the demons close to him, and Shigo managed to shoot her green plasma flames at the demons. They had managed to fight them off when a demon with spider-like legs appeared and began to shoot at them. What are they? Kim questioned as she, Ron, and Shigo turned their attention to the new demon they spotted. This demon identifier says they're called Aracatrons. They shoot plasma, Ron replied. Allow me to do this, Shigo said, as she started shooting her green plasma balls at the Aracatrons, taking them out while they turned into a burnt corpse. Shigo had managed to kill most of the Aracatrons in the area, and soon all the demons surrounding the Middleton parking lot mall were all dead. That's all of them? Ron asked. Looks like it. Now let's get inside the mall before more demons show up, Kim instructed as she and her friends ran towards the front of the mall. Once they got closer to the front door of the mall, they found the doors to be locked. Kim cursed herself for knowing someone or something is keeping the mall locked in. Maybe survivors were inside the mall? It was anyone's guess. When Ron suggested he try the back door, so they headed back towards the mall and headed inside from the back. Once inside the mall back hallways, Kim and Ron looked around and checked the rooms. However, they didn't find anyone holding out in any of them in the mall, so they didn't find anything useful either. Once they entered the mall, it looked like it was abandoned. Bloodstains on the floors, corpses on the ground, as well as organs all over the place. Where can the pharmacy be? Shigo asked. It's on the second floor of the mall, Kim replied. She then started to head up the stairs with Ron and Shigo. When they got to the second floor, they looked around to see some demons wandering. They were easy demons to kill, so they opened fire and eliminated them. When all the demons were all dead, Kim and Ron headed for the pharmacy, while Shigo stayed out to keep watch for demons. Kim and Ron found the medicine they were looking for, so they stuffed their bags full of medicine that they needed back at the bunker. Shigo then saw an archvile heading towards her. The archvile used its fire powers to hit Shigo with, but Shigo was luckily able to dodge the fire. Alright, 2 people can play that game. Shigo spat coldly as she began to attack the archvile. Kim and Ron looked inside the pharmacy to hear odd shuffling noises. Ignoring Shigo fighting off the archvile on her own, Kim had her shotgun ready as she slowly approached the corner where the sound was coming from, ready for if a demon were to jump out and attack. However, a dog came out, surprising her and Ron. "It's just a dog. Glad it's not a demon," Ron said, sighing in relief. The dog was a German Shepherd, and the dog wagged its tail. Kim petted the dog, knowing his owner was likely dead from the demons, so she'll have to take the dog with them. "We'll take him with us. His owner is likely dead," Kim said to Ron, who nodded in agreement. When Kim and Ron and the dog left the pharmacy with bags full of medicine, Shigo had killed the archvile by slicing him in half with her green plasma flames. "Where did this cute guy come from?" Shigo asked, paying her attention to the dog. "He was in the pharmacy. His owner is dead," Kim concluded. "Got the medicine we need?" Shigo questioned. Ron then showed Shigo the bags full of medicine. 2 bags full. It was more than what they needed. This made Shigo's eyes lit up with hope. "Hope we can get back to those sick at the bunker. Hope it's not too late." "Then we better get out of this mall quickly," Kim stated, as she, Ron, and Shigo, along with the dog, headed for the front entrance of the mall. Kim managed to open the front locked doors, and they stepped out to find bodies of demons they had killed earlier. They headed for the tank, and everyone climbed inside the tank. Once everyone was inside the tank, Kim started to drive the tank back towards the bunker. While driving, her communicator began to buzzing. Ron had answered for Kim. "Wade, we got 2 bags full of medicine," Ron stated. "That's awesome to hear. We were getting worried about you guys," Wade explained. "Is everyone alive?" Kim asked, praying that her dad is still okay despite being sick. "Everyone is alive. Those sick are getting desperate for the medicine." "Glad you got the medicine. I see you brought a furry friend with you," Wade answered, noticing a dog in the background. "We found him in the pharmacy. The owner is dead," Kim replied. "That's too bad that the owner died. He or she would have been welcomed here to the bunker," Wade said. "Tell everyone that we have the medicine. They'll be so happy to hear that," Kim said. "Will do. See you guys when you get back," Wade answered. Then the call ended. By the time Kim, Ron, and Shigo got back to the bunker with their tank, they entered the bunker and parked the tank in the garage. Once they climbed out of the tank, Wade along with Nana Possible were there to greet Kim, Ron, and Shigo. "Here's our bags full of medicine," Ron said, handing the bags to Wade. Wade looked inside the bags to see full of medicine. He was impressed by the find. "Nice find, you guys. You did well," Wade commented. Then the dog wagged its tail while licking Jim and Tim's faces when they approached their family. "You got a dog?" Jim asked. "This is awesome. We've always wanted a dog," Tim added. "Found him at the pharmacy. The owner's dead, unfortunately," Kim replied. "That's sad to hear," Nana Possible said. "Your dad is weak, so we need to give him the medicine as soon as possible." Kim nods as she and Nana headed for James's room. Inside the bedroom, James woke up, weak from his nap. "Kim? Mom?" James weakly asked. "We're back, Dad, and I got the medicine," Kim replied as she got the medicine ready, while Nana Possible got him a glass of water. James took the medicine and sat up in bed. "I'm glad you got the medicine. I thought I was going to be a goner," James said, then notices Jim and Tim along with the dog that Kim and Ron found. "Kim found us a dog. Can we keep him?" Jim asked. "Please," Tim added, giving James the puppy dog eyes. "As long as you take care of it. You know a dog is a big responsibility," James stated. "We'll take this responsibility," Jim replied. "And we'll take care of this dog, as long as he's with us," Tim said. "Can we name him?" Jim asked. Kim and James nodded at this as Kim and Ron headed for the armory. While Kim and Ron were putting their gear away, Shigo headed for Dr. Draken's lab, where he was making the weapon. Dr. Draken was finished with the one weapon, to which Shigo notices and sees Dr. Draken was working on a new weapon. "What weapon is this you finished?" Shigo asked. "That, Shigo, is a Gauss cannon. I have finished making it," Dr. Draken replied. "I just need someone to test it. It's supposed to be a strong weapon against bigger demons." "I'm sure Kimmy can do that," When she comes out of putting all of her gear away, I'll ask her then, Shigo said. So what weapon are you working on next? This weapon is supposed to be even stronger than the Gauss cannon. It's still in the works, Dr. Draken answered. When Kim and Ron exited out of the armory after putting their gear away, Shigo showed up then. Hey Kimmy, Dr. Draken has finished with the stronger weapon, Shigo began. You would like it to be tested before using it on real demons. Really? Kim asked, excited to hear Dr. Draken finishing on making the new weapon. It's called the Gauss cannon. It did take him a while, Dr. Draken said, showing up from behind Shigo. That weapon looks epic cool, Ron stated, commenting on the Gauss cannon. Wade's got a weapon testing room, so we can use it there, Kim said. Good idea. Let's go there, Dr. Draken replied, as he handed the Gauss cannon to Kim. Then he, along with Kim and Ron, headed for the weapon testing room.
What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. I want to appreciate you all for tuning into this video, and I do appreciate you guys supporting my video by giving this video likes and stuff. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're new, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload so that way you guys will get updated for whenever I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter or DeviantArt, feel free to leave a follow on those if you are interested in following me on those socials. If you want to support my backup channel, known as Miss Dark Shigo, feel free to subscribe to it, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, and that being the case, thank you so much for watching, my pretties, and as always, stay pretty.